2 times through the A part, 4 measures, and the B part comes up after that. Early on, when I first started listening to music, my dad and my mom had a really amazing record collection, everything from the Carpenters to Marvin Gaye to film soundtracks, and the film scores really, really pulled me in. Before I got into a band, I wanted to be a film composer. Before I went to sleep, I would envision movie sequences, put on a record and imagine like title sequences and stuff. And my friends were more into sports. I kind of felt that maybe that set me apart a little bit. I guess the other thing would be that I was told constantly, my teachers, administrators were all telling me, what's up with you? And it just seemed like my friends stayed out of that kind of trouble. When I was in 4th grade, I was diagnosed with what they then called ADD. Didn't know how it related to how I acted or how I felt. In fact, I didn't feel like I acted weird. But teachers were the one telling me I had an issue. I'm like, what issue? Here I am. So I was not receiving any kind of treatment all throughout school. It was kind of a disaster. I was kicked out of several schools, mainly elementary school, middle school. They thought ADD went away back then, that you grew out of it. But it didn't matter, because when high school came around, my mom said, enough of that, you're going to live with your dad. That was very tough, because I think she had more understanding. He was like, straighten up or you'll get the fist. And I often did. And then back at the beginning, on the melody part. What really motivates the ADHD student or the ADD student in school are the things they like. And we have a very, very big resistance to stuff that we don't like. But the engaging stuff like music, it's like lock me in a room for 30 days and slide my meals under the door. I'm not coming out. And I can do that 100% of my ability because I love it so much. And then when I graduated, joined my first band the week of graduation, and I've been doing it ever since. I can see that. I remember it, but now I remember there's Dead on the drum kit. We were opening up for them. I got that recording somewhere. It's hysterical. We were so bad. And I was working at Knott's Berry Farm theme park in Southern California. And I came out from lunch one day in Ghost Town, and I heard this sound, and it was very hypnotic kind of a sound. And I was like, what is that? Came around the corner, and there's this lady playing this instrument I'd never seen before. And it just sounded real barefoot in the dirt, That instrument reached out and grabbed me by the throat and said, it's you and me for the rest of our lives, And ever since then, the mountain dulcimer has been my magic carpet. The next best step really was starting to teach it to people and letting people know, via YouTube and other places, that this is the instrument you were always been looking for. So everybody's been given the gift of music at birth by God. And either it was encouraged or it was discouraged. Those that it was encouraged in got tutelage and classes and instruments and probably found some joy out of that. Those that it was discouraged in, they are unhappy because they don't have that gift. But I think that gift just keeps knocking. And it keeps knocking, and that's why I've got students that are 80, 90. My oldest student is 103 years old. That's the main reason I do any of this. To make music because I have no choice, and also to share with other people if they can make music and give them a choice.
Give a good Lake County folk welcome for Bing Futch.
Thank you very much. Howdy, everybody. Howdy. Y'all full of food? Yeah. I gotta work quick, because after you eat, you gotta digest. People start nodding off. Many, many years after, they said that it was supposed to go away, I just felt like I said, I need to go see somebody and get some therapy because my brain's crazy. So I had to go to somebody and talk to somebody about it. And they were like, oh, the first thing off the bat, they're like, oh, you're ADHD. I'm like, ADHD? That's new. And I felt like the music really kind of pulled me in. And as long as I could just do music, it was managed, There are so many folks that are undiagnosed and untreated in this country, and they think it's just them. And it's not them. It's something that they were born with, and it's something that they're living with, and they don't even realize it. So I think once you get that insight, you at least have a clue as to what's going on, where you're at, you are here on the map, and then you can kind of proceed from there.
Teachers, preachers, and counselors, the same thing they all said. You got such potential if you could straighten out your head. They didn't know it way back then, they certainly know it now. That ADHD voodoo gonna catch you anyhow.
ADHD Blues came about when singing about it, bringing it up, and having so many people come up afterwards and say, oh, I am too, oh, I am too. I thought, wouldn't it be great to step forward a bit more and say, hey, I'm dealing with this, I'm living with this, and it's not the end of the world. I want to normalize it because it's normal. Ralph Waldo Emerson has a great quote, luxury is being understood. And I think the best thing that parents can do is try to understand what is going through the minds of their kids. I just know that if my parents had simply asked me what was going on, they would have seen something. They would have seen a pattern, and they would have detected that it's not something purposely being done. This is something out of their control. So what can we do as parents to meet them or get the understanding that they need or the professional help they need to sort things out? My name is Bing Futch, and I am a producer of music, video, and other stuff.
Thank you very much. And now for something completely different.